Evening and welcome to another session of Career Spotlight with Sneha. I'm back on a Wednesday and I really hope to add some great value to all of you who join me live here today or get to see my video later during the day. All right. So if you can per se hear me fine and I am visible, if you could just drop in, if you're connected, a hi, I would be really appreciative of that. And we are going to be starting in a moment. Okay, because today's session I have specially created around a very common and general question which we all face throughout our life, irrespective of what stage we are and at whether we are applying for a job as a fresher or with an experience. The very first question that an interviewer usually asks us is, tell me about yourself, right? So, we are going to talk about this question today. So, if we are all set, let me quickly, briefly tell you about how I look at this question, and then you can opt in to ask your questions, and yeah, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay, all right, that's excellent. So, when we talk about this question, tell me about yourself, which is usually asked during an interview. I have previously talked about this as well, that do not approach an interview that the interviewer is there to give you a job. No. The point is that you have to approach the interview keeping in mind how you can solve the problem for the position that the company has given you. So when you change this particular mindset, your whole perception about the process will change. Because once you know that your intention is to solve some problem for the people who are, sitting on the other side, the employers, then all your answers will be directed towards telling them how you can help them, right? Because we should don't ever confuse that the employer is making this has kept this question to make you feel relaxed or help you speak up and feel comfortable. No, actually the employer wants you to quickly, in the shortest possible time, tell him or her that yes, you are the candidate, right? And that is the approach that you need to follow while answering this question, right? I quickly first brush you through the common don'ts that I see, okay, that you must not do during this question while answering this question. So, the first thing is the objective of this question is not to make you comfortable. The objective of this question is that the employer wants you to exactly tell him or her how you are the right person. Number one, this is the objective that you must keep in mind while preparing the answer. Number two, do not, do not give a summarized resume summary when you are asked to introduce yourself. That's another big blunder because I am holding your resume in my hand. I can very well see what you have written. Why would I want to hear it from you? Okay, so your resume summary is not what has to be put in the question. Tell me about yourself. So keep this very clear. Okay, so don't do that. Number two, usually people also commit an error where they think that we have to simply tell things which are very specific about us, your personal traits. No, the company is not interested in your personal traits. It's a professional relationship. They simply want to know how you can add value. Okay, so keep this also step very, very clear in your mind. Number three, do not approach this question with something like, I'll give an impromptu speech about yourself. Okay, so it doesn't need to be impromptu. This is a very common question which is asked, so we can go ahead and prepare for it. Now let's talk business. How to answer this question effectively. Okay, so there's a very interesting term, elevator pitch. You must have heard about it. So this is, consider this question as your elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is like a short summary, okay, which is quick, to define a particular product or a service or a business or a value proposition in terms of when entrepreneurs are presenting their B plans or plans for taking approval about the product or the service or taking feedback about that. So your elevator pitch that. So as a representative for a company for a particular designation, you must have your elevator pitch ready for that designation for which you've applied for. Okay, so you have to be prepared that what as a candidate is there with you. You need to be focused about what the company wants. It needs to be short, right? Not more than 45 to 60 seconds at max. Definitely not more than 2 minutes. If you have a long experience, around 90 seconds is a good enough time, but never above 2 minutes, right? And don't try to put everything in your elevator pitch. What primarily you need to focus upon? Number one, what are your primary, unique selling proposition as a person? What are the skills that you have? What are the trainings? What are the experiences that you have in the past that you can provide to the company in order to meet the expectations and give them the desired outcomes? If you approach this question with this point, half of your problem is solved. Second, you must also try to address the question that why are you interested in this position? Like I always say, don't join an organization because of the branding. Don't join the organization because you always wanted to join the organization with no logic behind. Try to find a value system match. Try to find something common between you and the organization before you go for the interview, and then taking care of this aspect where why are you interested in this particular job becomes very easy, because then you can always align your value system with the value system of the company, and you automatically become the best version of what the company is looking for, because the company is there to build a culture. They want people who like the culture that they are trying to put up. Okay, so that is how it needs to be done. So how do we present this question? Let's talk about it. The first part of the answer while you're drafting an answer is you must talk about who you basically are. Okay, so how would you do that? You don't need to tell about your strengths or tell that I'm the best salesperson, or I'm the best marketer, digital marketer. No, you do it by simply talking about what? By simply talking about your experience. For example, it could be I am a digital marketer with over 8 years of experience. I have managed all the digital marketing functions from blah 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 to blah 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 to what you have done while taking care of that position, instead of saying that I belong to XYZ city and I've done my graduation and plus two from this and that. That's the wrong way. The interviewer is not interested. They want to know how you can add value. So what do you talk about? You talk about your experience, and you also talk about what skill set you already possess, and if you have some remarkable achievement, you can opt to add that particular thing also. You can specifically talk about, like, I have won several awards, I have won several performance awards during and I've got promotions thrice in my previous company because I have a person who is good at problem solving. Okay, so there I introduce another soft skill. So what have I done? I have talked about my experience, I have talked about what skill set I have, and then I've talked about how I have this skill set that I have, how I've in the past proven myself with the help of this skill set. Okay, so that gives you a very comprehensive answer as something that interviewer will really like to listen to, and will get the desired points that he wants during this question for you. Okay, and you can also opt to end this question by saying, if you're a fresher, you can simply say a very common line that most of us use, that I want to join a progressive company like yours where I get to use my skill set that I have developed during my internship. Or if you are already working, you can simply say that I love my current role And I think I want to get into a more challenging position, and I see your company giving me this similar set of values, and I'm sure I will be able to get better at doing what I'm doing and add more value to your company if I'm given a chance. So technically you have showcased yourself as a perfect package, and now the company knows in just first what 60 seconds of your interaction with them that what is your experience, even if you do not have an experience. For discussion's sake, many of you who have joined me here might be having a lot of who are freshers. So in the freshers case, don't worry, you can simply be very optimistic about it by saying that I am a graduate in digital marketing, or I'm a postgraduate in marketing with specialization in digital marketing, or I'm a digital marketing enthusiast and I have over 18 months experience where I have completed my internship with name of the companies where you have done them. And during my internship, I really got into the details of how to do maybe Facebook marketing, or you have done some SEO work, or you have practiced the PPM, whatever you have done, just talk about that. It's okay not to be an experienced person. Everybody starts from zero. So being a fresher, don't first create a big burden on yourself that I'm a fresher, who is going to listen to me. That's never the case. People are interested to hire people who match their value system. Number two, are ready to learn. That's it. The only thing that they are judging is how flexible you are in learning and how much you match with the existing culture of the organization. That's why I put a lot of emphasis on finding an organization that matches your similar value system and culture, because for them, working in that organization will never give you any problems which will come up later after joining and will hinder your performance. That's how I look at it, right? So if we go ahead and try to get a holistic answer of how you should present your question, so you can simply say that I have been working in the field of marketing oblique HR oblique digital marketing oblique mechanical engineering software development last 2 years. During my graduation also, I picked up a couple of projects. That is why I have also worked as a virtual assistant for Falana. So just keep on adding what you did. You can also put some great points over here in terms of the metrics. That means during my stint with XYZ company, I converted over this much of sales. So just a brief intro. So that what you do is during this question, you give them an option to find out some fact and go to the second question. So we call it, leading the interviewer. Rather than depending upon what he feels like asking, we tell him at the end what should be done. And this has to be very strategically done, and it works like a charm. If you can direct the interview on the basis of how you want to present yourself, I think life becomes very, very simple. Okay, so that is the best way to take this question, right? And I hope I have tried to put some light on why you are not supposed to talk about your resumes, why you're not supposed to talk about where you come from, how many members are there in your family, or what are your colleges, or what are your schools from where you have graduated. You simply talk about what is your first hand experience, what skills you know, what value you have delivered, and how you will end up matching the value system of the company or the position that you are applied for. So if you are able to do these couple of things right, I think you will be able to craft a pitch which works like magic. Okay, so you can now start asking your question so that I'll be able to help you answer them. So we have Saurabh who's asked a question. Okay, so Saurabh is asking that, ma'am, can you please introduce myself so that we can get the points that we can get added just for an example. Okay, so Saurabh, I think I've just taken an example. I'll repeat the same example again. So the example is going to be like that. You can start by saying that, hi. never take your name. Okay, it's already there on your resume. So if somebody asks, Sneha, please tell us about yourself, don't start by saying that, hi, my name is Sneha Sharma. It's but obvious they know your name. Okay, so you simply start by, thank you. I am. You can simply start by saying that, okay, hi, I'm a digital marketing enthusiast, and I have been working in this field for last around 2 to 3 years, and I have a keen interest in exploring the field of digital marketing. During my graduation and post graduation, I did multiple projects across different companies through which I have learned and got some hands-on experience in the skills of search engine optimization, price per click, Facebook marketing. Whatever you've done, you put your skills out, and then you can add that I'm a very a motivating person. I am a team worker. I'm flexible with my approach, and this is the reason why during my internship I was also awarded the best intern from my batch, because I was able to uh, achieve XYZ if you did achieve something. So if you present yourself like this with the skill set being given to the people that they want to hear, I think life becomes comparatively easy. Okay. From my dad, because I was able. So, having less skills, how can I answer the question? What skills do you have? Sort of, there is nothing like we have less skills. There is nothing like less skills. The point is that during your internships, try to what exactly did you do, and in order to find the right skill set, go back to the job description. I have talked about this previously. So, when you want to answer the question, anything during your interview, you must go back and read the job description. Once you read the job description, they will very, it comes out very crisp. What does the company want? And if you do not match the job description, please do not apply, because then applying for a position that you do not match is the biggest blunder that we can do with ourselves. Okay, it's like knowing that we are not the best, and then we still want to go out and do it and demotivate ourselves. If you feel so that the skills are so important, because I myself have got jobs, have given jobs, have recruited people who had zero experience to what the skill set was asking for, but their confidence was such that we ended up hiring them. Okay, so skills are important, technical skills are important, soft skills are important. Technical skills are experience based. You may or may not have them depending upon how far you have built your career. But for soft skills, you definitely have a chance to explore yourself and groom yourself. So, in a job description, you will always find a mix of these two. It will not be always about technical skills, it will always be about something related to the soft, which could be problem solving, which could be flexibility, which could be teamwork, which could be excellent written communication. So find what matches and then only go for the position, so that one, you are more than 100% confident that you are the best candidate. I have many times previously told you as in everyone over here, whosoever comes to me and whosoever I get to talk to, that never ever expect that you are going to be given a job. You have to get the job. So, if you have to get the job, you have to understand that you must weigh yourself as the best candidate. If you know that your resume will be the best, then only apply for the job. Or if you know that whether your resume has the desired skills or not, but you know independently that I have that confidence and I will be able to learn, go out and apply for that job. But if you yourself are already having this mindset that my job skills don't match, my technical skills don't match, my soft skills don't match, don't apply for the job. It's never going to come your way. Okay, because then the only thing that comes out is dejection, which should never be the case, right? All right. Anyone else who has any question, I will be more than happy to answer that how do you take up anything on specifically about how to answer this question about tell me about yourself. And one more thing which I wanted to share: when you answer this question, I do understand many of us might not be very fluent with the language, so it is better that you simply write answer for this question, find out what is the best version that you want to talk about, and then you prepare yourself, write your answer down, revise it, prepare it. Okay, preparation is the key to all. So don't get bogged down by how others prepare. If you prepare by writing down, if it gives you more confidence, go ahead and do that. Okay. So we have a question from Nirmit. Okay, so Nirmit says, how do you reply to the question, how are you, when they ask you while beginning an interview? Question is so common, but sometimes turns out to be replying with, I'm fine, or something very vague. Okay, so I think Nirmal, it's actually a very comfortable question to be in. So if somebody asks you how are you, I usually would reply back, I'm thank you. How are you? That's it. Don't bother yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself. Or you can say I'm doing well. How are you? I'm doing good. How about you? That's it. That's it. So we do not need to go very long with that, and we can be very precise. And one more thing, usually if this question that Nimit has just asked, at time this question is being asked even before offering you a chair. Okay, so when you go for an interview, as an interviewer, I must know that I have to make you sit, but I can also be judging you on your etiquettes, which could be a company culture. Okay, so do not sit before someone has offered you the chair. Okay, so if it is an online interview, then the situation is different. But if it's an offline interview, make sure that you take the seat only once when you're offered. Otherwise, just keep standing for 10 seconds. I think next 2 seconds you will get, chair will get offered. The person would, the moment he looks up, he'll say, please have a seat. So just wait for that. That talks a lot about you. Think over it. I think you will also agree that it does create that sincerity and it creates a rapport. So it will help you. It has helped me many times. I never, till date, irrespective of what experience I have, who I am a meeting, I would never sit until I'm offered a chair. And the people who do this the same way with me, when I am at an authority and somebody has come to meet me, there is a very different level of respect which comes, because then I have already told them in advance that their communication matters and I respect the culture that they are offering. So, and of course, they should offer you a seat and they will eventually offer you a seat, but it just shows that you are not very, you're patient and you're calm and you are in control of whatever is happening. So you just, because you don't just have to grab a chair and then feel comfortable. You can be comfortable even standing. And don't carry a lot of copies or resumes or stuff with you that you put on the table or put your bags down near the chair. That's the worst thing to do, because at times the things start going toppling here and there, and that's the worst thing that you could do in the very first few seconds of your interview. So that's just a general thing. Although there are a lot of instances where people don't get to start their interview in the best possible manner, and they end up getting the interview. Like I said, the interview is not about judging you. They are just trying to find if you're the best fit. So calm. The more calm you are, the more easier it would be for you to, express yourself and explain how you will be the best candidate. But always apply for the position that you would hire yourself for. If you feel that if you were to take that up position, आपने अगर किसी को रखना होता और अगर आप अपने आप को नहीं रखते, तो प्लीज उस पोजीशन को अप्लाई मत करें. That means you don't deserve to be, there. That's how I look at it. So think about that. If you think you deserve to be there, then only apply. Otherwise, don't apply. Apply, upgrade, or find a better position. That's how it works. Okay. All right. So, any other question that someone has, I'll be more than glad to answer. We are what, around already 24th minute, so we are on 25 minutes. Excellent. So I was thinking about what topic should I pick up. So I thought, okay, this is one thing that most of us get confused about. So do not take this question as your summary of your life. No, it's not a summary of your life. Your interviewer doesn't want to know about your personal details. What he wants to know is how you're the best fit. The easier you make them understand this, either way, that you are the best fit or you are not the best fit, the life gets easier for them, and that's how this question has to be dealt with. Okay. All right, and you can opt to actually practice this answer by writing it down, because this answer can actually, you can design the whole interview process using this answer. Use the terms, use the words that you want to talk about during your interview, and you end up getting the same questions usually being asked by the interviewer, and things gets very comfortable. All right, excellent. So I think we do not have any of the questions right now. And I hope I answered the question for Nirmit and Saurabh who joined me live. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in today. And I'm going to be back next Wednesday with maybe another interview question or some inputs on public speaking or resume building, because that's what I talk about. If you want me to pick up something, you can DM me or leave a comment below this video that what is it that you want to know about in the next session. And I hope I'll be able to do justice to that. Okay. All right. So thank you for joining in and wishing you a great, great week ahead. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Thank you for joining in.